Well, I think I'm live. You guys let me know. I think I'm live. I think I'm live. I think I'm live. Anyone out there? All right. Well, I got Cliff. It's me and you, Cliff. I know the webcam I'm using is not as good as the phone I normally use, so my apologies as to that. This is what I had to use when I did the Zoom call. Was that last week or the week before? So it's not as good as when I use my phone, but you guys aren't here to count the blackheads on my nose, right? So this will work. All right. And I was able to find slow mode on using the YouTube in browser live stream functionality. So some of y'all have mentioned slow mode to me before. It's not available on my phone. It's not available when you're streaming on an Apple iPhone. It is available when you're using a browser and your webcam. So I may have to look into that. I've got a Logitech webcam I can hook up to this thing, and it would be better than this. I don't know how much better, but we could try it. But long story short about why I'm not using my phone is I noticed I was running out of storage space on my iPhone, and I've got a lot of storage space on my iPhone. But I was down to I think it's 128 gigabyte storage, and I only had 4 gigs free. So when I went looking through all the apps to see what was taking up that kind of space, my YouTube app was taking up 69 gigs, and I have no idea what that is. The only thing I could guess that it was my live streams, because my live streams had been stacking up in my YouTube app. Like when I close out my live stream, it still shows that it's uploading or something like that, and never finishes out. So I had like 10 or 12 live streams that were not completed in my YouTube app. So I deleted my YouTube app, and I'm going to re-download it, but I forgot to do that before the live stream. So there we go. Steph, you're better than we are. Enjoy yourself at the gym. I'll have a beer on your behalf. Maybe leaving out. Hey, Chad. Welcome, sir. Professor Walker. I did forget about you. And I've got a story about that, but yeah, man, we could do the live stream if you want me to. I could start over on Zoom. I just didn't do that tonight. I was running behind, and I've got a story to tell. But we could definitely get you on here if you wanna hop on tonight. But I'll have to end the live stream and then immediately start it back. So you let me know, or we could plan for next week. All right, we'll do it next week, Professor Walker. I will make a note to myself. Invite Professor Walker. So yeah, my bad. My bad. We were going to have Professor Walker on here with us tonight, and I completely forgot to send him an invite. So I hope I didn't cause you too much stress there, Curtis. My bad. Mr. Tolson, welcome, sir. Yeah, it does look a little bit darker in here, don't it? Mm-mm-mm-mm. All right. Well, I need to figure out what I'm going to smoke this evening. And I can't see. Oh, yeah, I can. So we've got 24 watching at the moment. Not bad considering I started 5 minutes late or so. Signaman Tony, welcome. All right, so what am I smoking? Let's see. I pulled out Roma 623 that I haven't smoked in some time. It's kind of a smaller bowl though. Jim R. Opinions will vary, but I would recommend GLP's Virginia Cream for a vanilla tobacco for a beginner, because it's guaranteed to not be a goopy mess compared to some of the other vanilla flavored tobaccos. But others would tell you, maybe like Lane 1Q, but to me, the Lane 1Q is just a bit too flavored. Cliff Higgins in the house. All right, so yeah, I've got my slow roll going, my slow mode with top chat on. Doesn't look like I can change it at the moment. All right. Well, I think I will smoke this Savinelli 623. Yeah, I saw Mutton Chop posted a new video maybe 30 minutes ago or something like that. Is this a 9mm filtered pipe? I don't remember that about this pipe. That's odd. I'm not sure how I got a 9mm filtered pipe. You know what? Maybe I pulled the. Sometimes you can get lucky and pull the insert out of out of a Savinelli pipe, which is really all they do to make that space smaller for their 6mm pipes. Really makes me wish, and I would not recommend. I can't recommend that you do that. And maybe that's not what happened here, but that's all I can think, because this is a Savinelli Roma. They're not available in the States in 9mm, and I did not order this elsewhere, like internationally. I've had this pipe for years, but I do not remember that. That's funny. So you guys, it's like 86 degrees here. Blue skies, and it gets hot when that sun just baking down like that. So summer is here. Summer is here in Pensacola, Florida. Merch is coming. That's interesting. I wonder what he's got up his sleeves. I think I'll smoke some old Joe with you, Chad. I'll load up some old Joe Krantz. Johnny, I hear you. My wife's actually leaving tomorrow. She's heading out of town for a couple days. So I'll probably be smoking a bit more Latakia myself. Now, I wonder, when I have slow mode on, does that keep you guys from typing so much? Or does it just stagger when it shows up on my end? Let me test. I'm going to test in chat. Test, test, test. It lets me. I don't know if it lets y'all. Cliff. Okay, so you guys have the limit on you. Interesting. Over a pipe, that is what I do. Well, I just don't even talk to her about it. I just smoke what I want to smoke when I want to smoke it. But when she comes out here to talk to me, or when I come inside, the Latakia is noticeably not her favorite. Thankfully, it's not my favorite. I only like, well, I've been smoking it more recently, but it was a time I'd only smoke a lot of Kia Blend like every 3-4 days, like one bowl every 3-4 days. Now I'm smoking at least a bowl every 2 days, usually a bowl a day of something Latakia. Welcome, all briared up. Wish I had more time to get this. I feel like you guys are sitting at my feet, the way the camera angle is. Usually when I use my laptop, I'll put a box or something underneath it, so you're a bit more elevated. Oh, Chad, much appreciated, sir. $5 in the tip jar, as they say. So that is much appreciated, Chad, especially after the story I'm about to tell. So where are we at time-wise? We're at 5:20. We've been going about 15 minutes. And we have 43 in the room. So I'll go ahead and tell y'all. It came to a head this past Friday, and I had to make my decision if I was going to stay at my job or resign. And I decided to just go ahead and resign. So I gave them a 3 weeks notice. So, I'll be working there through the end of the month. But after that, I'll be full time pipe nooking. Now I've got other things I'm hoping to do to make extra money on the side. I don't want y'all to worry about that, but um, what leaving my job means is that I'll be getting an immediate, 50% pay cut because I had worked up the pipe nook to the point where I was basically making two paychecks, between the day job and the pipe nook. And that's going away, and the insurance and benefits are all going away. But I'm super, super happy about it, really excited. But it was kind of funny because over the weekend at church, we had somebody that, when they take prayer requests, somebody said, well, I have a praise. I talked to my boss this week and I'm getting a 1% pay hike. That was great. But I was like, well, I've got a praise. In 3 weeks, I'm getting a 50% pay cut. And I'm very excited about it. So, uh-oh. I won't give you the ins and outs of how that came about, but I am leaving on very good terms in case I ever need to come back for whatever reason. There will be the opportunity for that. I don't know, but I'll have the option to return. I'm not burning those bridges. Thanks, you guys. I appreciate the congrats. But John, welcome. They had told us that we were going to be going back to the physical location soon. I've been working for them since the pandemic started back last March, working from home. And I got so entrenched working from home. The post office comes and picks up my packages for the Pipe Nook every day. I don't have to go to the post office anymore. Just once a week these days to check my P.O. box if I have returns or what have you. So the round trip commute every day, 5 days a week, plus not having to go to the post office, that saves me about, let's see, 5 times. That probably saves me about 10 hours a week to just not have to round trip it to the post office or round trip to the office 5 days a week. Yeah, that's right, Cliff. But does even with saving that time by working from home with my full-time job, uh, I was putting in 60 to 70-hour work weeks because the Pipe Nook has become increasingly demanding on my time, which I'm very happy for. But when they told me this past Friday that we'd have to go back in July to the office, that was just kind of the final straw. That was when I knew it was time. Because add that 10, 15 hours, then, I'm looking at working, what is that, 70 to 80 hours a week or something like that with the commute time back in. So I was at the breaking point. And not only that, but, I've had a hard time recently, and some of you may have noticed this or been just experienced this. I've had a hard time keeping up with day-to-day shipping because I don't ever want to hold on to an order for like 3 days. And sometimes I have had to do that. And I haven't been able to answer my emails in a timely fashion. Sometimes it takes three, even longer than 3 days to answer emails. And that's because I get done with my work and then I get done with packing orders, and then I have to check, and answer emails. It's not a great system. And honestly, guys, that's why I haven't been making a lot of standalone YouTube videos. I just have not had the time. So all of that's going to change. I'm going to get much better by cutting out that 40 hours every week and being able to devote to building my business. My response times to emails should increase drastically. Getting orders out the door in a timely fashion should increase at a pretty good clip. I've always tried to do that really well, but there have been occasions recently. And just being able to add things to the site, that's been, it's been hard for me to find time to build out new products on the website. I've got a bunch in stock that's not on the site yet. So that's going to change. I'm really excited, you guys. So look for the new face of the Pipe Nook in July. Well, I'm not rebranding or anything, but you know what I mean. It'll be a better experience all around for me and for you. So here's to that. But all that to say, thank you for the tip, Chad. If any of you ever wanted to support the Pipe Nook, well, now would be a good time to do that. Because as soon as I flipped the switch and sent that resignation letter, it got hot and people stopped buying pipes. Now that's an annual thing. There are several days when it starts to get hot that people just aren't interested in buying pipes, and then it kind of eases, sales will ease back. But yeah, sales have been down this week since Friday, and because of course they would, to kind of test my metal, so to speak. I know I've missed some stuff, you guys. So let me try to read through some stuff. Professor Walker starting a second job next week. Well, it was good for me for a time. Hopefully it'll be the same for you. And let's talk about that next week when you're on the live stream, if you want. Randy, have a good evening, sir. Mike, I appreciate that. And who knows? I may be a driving taskmaster myself. We'll see. I do have so many business plans for the Pipe Nook and just other business ideas that I would like to get off the ground that I just have not had time to mess with. So here's hoping. I will have no excuse um, by freeing up that 40 hours each work week to get my butt in gear and get it going. And I would like to. There's so much when you work in two jobs that you kind of have to cheese out on or cut back on. I haven't been. I used to be a I wouldn't say an avid reader, but I used to read quite a bit. I haven't read very much this past year or two. Um, I haven't played guitar hardly at all in the past couple of years. There are some family commitments that you know, unfortunately have cheesed out on over the past couple of years. Family events and whatnot. Now I haven't missed my wife's birthday or the kids' birthdays or anything like that. Don't get me wrong, but extended family stuff. There's just a lot of stuff I haven't had a whole lot of time to do these past 2 years, and I'm hoping to add all that stuff back into my life. Those are like life enriching things that when you're working too much and have family obligations, um, it's easy to put that stuff off to the side. Exercise would be another thing. I haven't exercised regularly these past 2 years. Mike, we should talk sometime though. Off the record, I'd like to get your take on being in business for 20 years. Like we've talked about, I've mentioned it to you before, but very soon I'll have time to actually call you up and we can have a chat. Get some voice of experience. But when your main income is from a website, that percentage of uptime and not having issues with the checkout process and all that becomes crucial. Whereas before, yeah, it sucked if the site was down for like a half a day or whatever, but it wasn't gonna take food off my table. Now it might, so I'm gonna have to really keep tabs on that. Yeah, Cliff, I'm with you. I do need to start playing guitar again. Wisconsin Woodman, have a good Woodsman, have a good evening. Booking pipe shows. That's something I was gonna rent a booth, rent a table at the last Nashville pipe show. It didn't happen. So that might be something to consider. I don't know that I would want to fly out to like Chicago or the West Coast or anything like that with a load of product. But if I could drive there, that would be another story. Professor Walker, I don't know how to highlight someone in chat. I've tried to figure that out. It doesn't seem to work for me. I've never bothered to look it up though. You can Google that. Maybe somebody in chat can let us know. I've tried that all briared up, but like if you put an at before the name, um, like the pipe nook is 3 words. Does that change anything? Would I have to run it together or put, I don't know. Interesting. I just got a notification. One of you guys placed an order. Thank you so much. Place it as a prefix. Let me try. And then do you have to select it? Because I get a pop-up. Yep, I think you have to select it. Still doesn't want to work for me. Huh. Oh well. Don't know why it is. Did it? It doesn't show up on my end that it worked, but okay. As long as it did work. So what else was I going to mention? I'm not going to get way in the weeds with this. It's just an observation. You guys can argue this out in chat if you like, or we could just agree to disagree, because I'm sure there's some people in chat that do this. And that's fine if you do. But I went to buy this beer right before we started. And I was running late back home because somebody in line in front of me was buying lotto tickets. She was buying scratch offs. And there's 20 different scratch offs on display in the state of Florida. I guess they're all different scratch off games. And they must cost varying degrees of money because, and I had no idea about this, but this lady, it took her 5 minutes to pick out 5 scratch offs. She was asking the lady behind the counter what the last 2 digits of the serial number was on each card and all this stuff. So she picked out 5 different scratch offs. And she got rung up, and it was $92. $92 for 5 scratch off tickets. My blood almost ran cold. I mean, it just floored me that scratch offs could cost that much. So they must be anywhere from $10 to $25 or something like that for her to get 5, and it'd be $92. I mean, that's an average of like 18 something. I mean, just nuts. I can understand, hey, let's buy a lottery ticket every now and then. I can't tell you I've never bought a lottery ticket, but it just makes me wonder. She was so entrenched in picking out those five lottery scratch offs. She must go in there once a week. That would be my guess. She probably goes in once a week. $92 a pop. So what's that? Let me get the trusty dusty calculator. 92 times 52 weeks. $4,784. If you invested that in like a S&P 500 index fund every year, you could retire quite well in 20 to 30 or 30 to 40 years, let's say, if you got started early on. That could turn into quite the nest egg. And that's guaranteed, well, almost guaranteed, barring, the apocalypse. But you've got more chance to die in a car wreck than you do to win the lottery. Well, you've got more chance to die in a car wreck on the way to buying your lotto ticket than to win the lottery. And that's pretty terrifying to think about. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that. But just 5 scratch offs for $92. It boggled my mind. Man, Professor Walker, I'm one of the unfortunates that bought a little bit of Bitcoin last year, and I've lost half of that investment at this point. And I don't want to sell it. Hopefully, it'll go back up to where I can just cash out. But cryptocurrency has had quite the negative turn in the past month or two. $1 to $30, huh? Wow. That's so nuts. I know I said I was going to stop talking about it, but regular Joseph, you have $100 tickets in MA. What's MA? It's not Maine. It's not Minnesota. Is that Maryland? But yeah, I had a professor tell me, I think in college, that um, he was my economics teacher, told me that the lottery, the way that it's instituted, the way that it's marketed, is a tax on the poor, because the vast majority of people that regularly buy lotto tickets are folks that can't foresee a way out of their current bad financial situation and circumstances, and they're just hoping against hope to cash out that lotto. And that always stuck with me. A tax on the poor. Now, somebody in this group, in this size group, 64 people, has got to know somebody who's won some kind of significant amount of money in the lottery, but by and large, you don't. I mean, the house doesn't lose. Um, what else was I going to talk about? That was my big news, not the lotto stuff, but me going full time pipe nook. Mm. Mr. Tolson, if I won 14 million, I would start taking your calls. Oh, what else we got to talk about, you guys? Um, we've only been going about 40 minutes. Yeah, no kidding, Doc. Oh, wow, that's crazy, Chad. So he must have taken a lump sum, which they take money off for that instead of paying it out over 20 years or whatever. And then, of course, there's like your winnings taxes. Yep, Stabby, we have heard about well, most of us have heard about Mutton Chop Piper. Um, I'm excited to see what he's got planned. Mutton who? Chad, you're such a cod. Oh, briared up. That copyright infringement stuff is like no joke. There's a big time YouTuber, Beato, something Beato. He did a live stream the other day about that, about how his videos get copyright strikes all the time for playing, not even singing the lyrics, but playing chord progressions of popular songs up to 30, 35 years old as instructional videos, like guitar instructional videos, and he'll get copyright strikes. And it's the companies that own whoever owns the recordings of those things will hit you. Yeah, Rick Beato. Thanks, Chad. And he was fired up about it on his live stream the other night. I think it was a Led Zeppelin song that he was talking about some kind of music theory concept and was playing examples of songs that used this particular uh, chord progression, and a Led Zeppelin song happened to be one of them, and he got smacked. And if you contest it and you lose, and then you try to contest it a second time, I think That's when you get the actual copyright strike, and then you get 3 strikes and you're out. They take your channel down. But, most people who own the rights to these songs don't go after YouTube content creators, but uh, some companies will, and they're hardcore about it, the ones that do. So, and it's not like like if you do a cover song and they hit you with a copyright infringement, whatever it's called, they basically get all the money. Like if your channel is monetized, they get all the monetization from that video. They don't share it with you. They get it. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure on the lingo. I think the strike is like the serious one. I can't remember what the slap on the wrist is, where they just take all your monetization money and give it to the owner of whoever you infringed on. But Rick Beato was like, look, this is not copyright infringement. I'm using this as fair use for educational purposes. I didn't sing the song. I didn't play the entire song. I didn't play the recording. I was using a chord structure as an example. So that's how ridiculous that stuff is. Music challenge video, nice. I'll look for that, Chad. Have you been doing? I haven't been. I've been busy, so I haven't been looking at your channel in a while. Have you been doing the through the years albums through the years videos recently? What are you up to? What year are you up to? I've been kind of wondering where you would kind of be less and less in the know, so to speak, or less and less interested in what came out. Hmm. Yeah, I was wondering about 1993 was the year that I graduated high school. And my oldest daughter, by the way, just graduated this week. Went her graduation on Monday. And since I graduated high school, I've kept up with music, but I've kept up with certain kinds of music and certain artists. It's fairly rare for me to find a new artist that I've liked. Like in the past 10 years, I could count on one hand probably the amount of new artists I've found that I like. And I'm talking about people that have come out with their first albums in the last 10 years. I have found plenty of artists that made music before that, but they're just kind of new to me artists. Plenty of those, but not recent artists. Jim, I've mentioned a few Savin Ellie lines that I'm gonna start carrying, but I don't want to mention them again because it's probably going to be another month before I start getting them on the site. I've got a lot to do during this transition, getting on a new insurance plan and buying a new laptop because I don't have a personal laptop. I've been using my work laptop. Getting a new phone plan, all that kind of stuff. Rusty, good to have you. Yeah, Bob and Doug are a staple in the background there. But I will tell you guys, in addition to adding more Savinelli lines, I'll be carrying Briarworks pipes here in the near future. Not too near future, but within the next few months. Of course, I said that a few months ago, and that's kind of it was time. It was time to leave the day job to get some of these plans in motion. Um, I would like to start carrying Vallon pipes by the end of the year. Might be early next year. And I'm looking to carry at least one line, probably one line to get started, of meerschaum pipes. But I haven't made a final decision on that yet. I've had a few Rattray's meerschaums in the past, and they sold, and they were nice pipes. But I'd kind of like to go with a company that specializes in meerschaum, that makes stellar block meerschaum pipes, and hopefully I can find one that also makes 9mm variants, so you can have a 9mm filtered pipe if you so choose. Paul, welcome, sir. I don't have any LCS pipes now. When I started the Pipe Nook, I carried a few artisan pipe makers pipes, just a handful. But I found fairly quickly that, I mean, those guys don't need me. They were doing me a favor. Um, but I have to make a little money in that transaction, so it just takes money out of their pockets. And I just found that most people that buy artisan pipes would prefer to buy the pipes directly from the artisan. I know some bigger companies do carry certain artisan pipes, but I know I would want to buy directly from the artisan myself, and have in the past. The few artisan pipes that I have, I bought uh, from that artisan, by and large. I think I bought a Rivara pipe from, oh, who was it? It was in Nashville. Joe Case. I bought a Rivara pipe from Joe Case. Does Peterson sell meerschaum pipes? Or are you just saying I should add some Peterson pipes, which I do intend to do? Right now, I've only got the Dublin filters and the Draculas, but I would like to add 2 or 3 additional Peterson lines. I'll have to look for that, for Peterson meerschaums. Donald Hughes, welcome. At the tail end of the live stream, though. I'll be on for a few more minutes. No, it's not sweet tea, Rusty. I'm always hesitant to tell you guys when you ask, but this is actually an IPA that I like. I've taken to drinking my beer over ice. Only if it's like, 6% ABV or more. Tends to cut the harshness down a bit. So what I'll do is I'll drink like 1/3 of the beer from the bottle and pour the rest over ice. Bill, have a good evening. Oh, let's see. Well, I think we'll close up real close to the hour. I'm showing we're at 57 minutes right now. All right, I'll look into the Peterson Mearshams. But then again, I really do want to find a company that makes phenomenal pipes with quality block meerschaum and has a stellar reputation and hopefully offers 9mm variants. So, I kind of got my checklist there, but I might also carry Peterson Mearshams if they're still available in the near future. Curtis, have a good night. Hobbiton, that forever stem will most likely outlast the cob, so I would say it's worth it. And you can use it on multiple cobs if you want to. I mean, my forever stems I've had for 5-6 years, and I've done that. I'll swap them out to different cobs. Yeah, pizza is on the way. Yeah, you're giving that cob of yours a run for its money, Chad. There's no mistaking. I should jot some notes down here real quick. Let's see. Next week. Alternate pipes. I was looking into Star Meerschaum. They're interesting to me, but I need to get a sample pipe for myself. At least one. All right, you guys, we are at the 1 hour mark, and sometimes I go over that, but I don't really have much else to talk about tonight. So, and the pipe is out, so we'll just call it an evening, and we'll catch y'all next Wednesday. I don't foresee any reason why not. And hopefully I'll have a video posted around the weekend. Haven't decided on my new schedule yet, but I am making more in the can videos, so to speak. I'm thinking maybe Wednesday, I'll keep the live stream, maybe like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, with Wednesday being the live stream. So that'd be 2 extra videos a week. So you guys look for that. It probably won't be this Friday. It'll probably be over the weekend. But all right. Thanks for hanging with me this evening, y'all. And we will chat with you again soon. Good night.